Hey guys, this is Brian with Aromacup.com. Thank you so much for joining me here, as always, in my virtual coffee shop brought to you by Aromacup.com. Today, I'm going to give you guys a little side-by-side comparison of two really awesome single-serve espresso making machines that you can add to your own at-home coffee shop. I'm talking about the Nespresso Pixie and the Nespresso Citiz. We'll go ahead and dive in and show you the differences between these two machines and show you how we can use them to make some awesome espresso. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys, so immediately you can see the difference between these two machines is the form factor. The Pixie lives up to its name. It's pretty darn small. It's not going to take up a whole lot of space on your countertop, and it's definitely very modern and stylized. As is the Citiz, of course. I mean, both of these machines look really, really slick, but the Citiz definitely has a lot more body to it. It's taller, it's a little heavier. Each of these units has a great water tank on the back, which is always filled up and ready to go, which is awesome. But again, like I say, the Pixie is definitely a little bit easier to kind of maneuver around and make use of if you're just kind of shifting it around on your countertop. So the form factor is a little bit different. I personally like them both, but I love the Pixie because it fits on my countertop where I really don't have a lot of space, because you guys know me, I have a lot of coffee machines, so let's face it, I don't have a lot of counter space. So this is very, very helpful. Both of these units have a 19 bar pump, pressure pump in them. So that's actually incredible for these tiny units, because that's actually more pressure than the minimum which is required for an espresso machine to actually have in order to be able to make a correct pull of espresso. So both of these machines are super, super powerful when it comes to brewing the espresso capsules. Now that said, both of them do make use of the same Nespresso capsules. These are capsules which we've spoken about in the past. They come in a lot of different colors, and that color also governs the type of espresso that is inside of the capsule. The name of that is also on the top foil pack right here. But these are pre-filled, pre-sealed, they're airtight, and so they're always fresh. We'll talk about making use of those in just a moment here. The operation of each machine is pretty much the same. Each one has just a very simple two-button operation. You've got your single shot of espresso, you've got your double shot of espresso, and both are really easy to make use of. Now, each one has a different power off setting for auto power off. The Pixie by default will turn off in 9 minutes if it hasn't been used. You can change that to 30 minutes if you want, if maybe you're going to be running around and you need to come back and use it again and you don't want to turn it back on. The Citiz will stay on a little bit longer before it auto powers off, but each one will auto power off in order to save you a little bit of energy, and you can't go wrong with that, of course, right? Now, each one, again, has its own tray system. In the case of the Citiz, the tray is a little more kind of easy to use with tall tumblers. You can see all I need to do in order to put a tall glass in here is just fold this tray right up. Now I can do pretty much the same thing in the Pixie by simply folding up the tray right here. Now you're not going to remove the tray on the Pixie, because if you do that, you're going to pull out the reservoir which catches your used capsules. In the case of the Citiz, you can pull out this tray if you want and get a little bit more space, but there is kind of a nub right there which will get in the way of a tumbler, so most of the time you're probably going to leave your tray on. But you can see how easy it would be to add a large tumbler here for brewing into. So very much the same when it comes to that. Now let's talk about making, of course, some espresso with both of these machines. Really easy to do. Each one loads up pretty much the same, but the cantilever method, which is used for actually loading in the capsule, is a little bit different. On the Pixie, you notice it's just this little handle right here. The thing I love about these is that they're kind of like loading a shotgun. Like when you open that, you know that thing is open and it's ready to go. And each of these just takes one of our Nespresso coffee capsules. So I'm going to go ahead and do a lungo pull on the Citiz over here. Now a lungo is really just a double shot. That means that it's a long pull, so we want to use more water. So again, really easy to do. Just take your capsule, I'm just going to drop it right in there and just get it in there the right way. It's really easy to do because on the top right here you can see that the slot is actually shaped like the capsule. So it's really easy to know, and the capsule just goes in like that. So pop that right in there, and then just close it up. And now the unit's going to be ready to brew. Let's go ahead and load up. Oh, let's go ahead and try a ristretto in the Pixie over here. That means that we're going to use this one for a smaller pull of espresso. I'm just going to do a single shot on this because it's that coffee, the espresso that's inside that capsule, much more suited to a single shot. So now you see how easy this is. All I need to do is choose the cup size I want to make use of. I'm going to use one of these awesome Bodum double-walled espresso cups for the Pixie. And then I'm going to fold up my tray right here in order to put in my taller cup, because you notice I can't really fit my tall cup in, but all I have to do is fold up that tray, and now I'm ready to go. All right, so both these guys are really easy to make use of. Again, I'm going to use the double shot on the Citiz and the single on the Pixie. So I'll go ahead and press double over here. And then we'll press single on the Pixie. Now, the Pixie is a little bit faster, I've found, with brewing the coffee. Now, of course, these are going to be a little bit different right now in brewing because I'm doing a double and a single, but you see the Pixie is already done. So if you're doing a single shot of espresso using the Pixie, it only takes about 30 seconds, so it's super duper fast, which is really, really awesome. Citiz is still doing its job, of course, but it was pulling a lungo shot, a double shot, so it takes a little longer, but you see that's done very quickly as well. And I can smell that. I know that's really good espresso because I can smell it, but I can also see it. This is how you really know. Check out the shot that I just pulled from that Pixie machine right there. You can see it's got a nice crema on it, and then it's got your really, really nice dark espresso right down there on the bottom. So this is a great pull of espresso right there. On my double side, obviously it's a little bit lighter because it's a double. It's got a little more water to it. But again, I have a nice crema. That means that the 19 bar pressure pump is giving the right amount of pressure that I need to get a really great pull of espresso out of these machines. So operation of both of these, you can see really, really easy. Now, cleanup, of course, right? You got to wonder about that because espresso machines, we've seen them be cleaned up in coffee shops. It's like a really long process. It's like you take this thing and the tamper and you hit all the... No, check this out. Here's what I need to do to clean up. You hear that drop? That right there is the capsule falling into the built-in reservoir for catching all of our used capsules. And that's going to land right down here in the bottom half of the unit. So there we go. Right there. And that'll hold a large number of these capsules on both of these units. So you really don't even have to think about it. When you're done, just open it up, dump that used one in, and then load up a brand new capsule, and you're ready to go. So I really, really love both of these machines. Again, like I say, really depends on the form factor that you're looking for your at-home coffee shop. The Pixie, a little bit smaller and has a quick auto power off time. The Citiz, a little bigger. Both of them are really going to impress your friends, however, when you get these onto your countertop in your at-home coffee shop. And there you go. There's a nice little overview of both of the Nespresso Pixie and the Citiz single-serve coffee machines. So I hope that you guys found that useful. Thank you so much for joining me here in my virtual coffee shop brought to you by Aromacup.com. As always, make sure to join us on Aromacup.com where you can find out some great information about machines such as the Pixie and the Citiz, recipes that you can make using these machines, coupons to save you money on the machines and the capsules, and of course a lot of other great information. That's all at Aromacup.com. I'm Brian. Thank you guys so much for joining me. As always, enjoy your cup, or in this case, your shot of espresso, and I'll see you next time. Take care.